Hey, what's up, guys? I'm Jake with KONDOR Blue, and we're doing this live stream today to announce an exciting new product, our Red Raptor cage. During this live, you're going to be getting some exclusive insight from our lead engineer and designer, Brandon, and you're going to be hosted by our wonderful studio director, Hobie. But with that being said, we are currently celebrating KONDOR Blue's 3rd birthday. We're a little late on it, but with that being said, we have an exciting highlight video from our 2021 year to show you what we've been working on with exciting collaborative creators. So with that being said, we're going to roll that highlight reel. We hope you enjoy it, and we will see you afterwards for our live stream. Let's roll it.
Wow, what is that?
KONDOR Blue, who specialize in professional camera gear.
That this thing fits in the camera case is so killer.
A lot of their stuff is great, and I've been really happy with it.
KONDOR Blue offers a lifetime warranty.
What?
They build beautiful accessories, super high quality.
I really like KONDOR Blue's products, and I'd recommend them.
We use their products because they're actually really good.
If you're looking for a top-notch camera cage, KONDOR Blue.
So far beyond my wildest expectations.
KONDOR Blue is my favorite place to go to get accessories for your camera.
The key component is this quick release plate.
It's really cool. Check it out. That's fast.
Very clean, very nice, very sturdy.
The other thing that I like, they have lifetime warranty for all their products.
This is what I use for all my cameras, and this is a side-loaded plate. Boom, look at the versatility of that.
KONDOR Blue is one of those companies that really pride themselves in making high-quality products.
And the other thing that I really like about this is that when I'm holding the camera like this, I can quickly press record.
Now my favorite part, I have a little handle extender from KONDOR Blue.
I've been really happy with this whole setup.
And my favorite thing is that they're high quality and well thought out.
And they are filmmakers like we are, so they understand exactly what we need to help improve our workflow.
Such a cool video. Amazing intro, Jake. Thank you so much. We love all the comments you guys leave us. It was such a pleasure going through all that footage and collecting everything for that video. We always read everything you guys send us, and we're always hear everything you say. So please don't be afraid to leave us any comments or anything like that. We read everything. Now, today we have a few exciting things to talk about, mainly being our new Red Raptor cage, which we will be joined by our lead designer and engineer. But stick around toward the end because we will be talking about a couple other new exciting products that will be featured in the rigs for this camera. And without further ado, we will bring in our lead designer and engineer, Brandon. Brandon, thank you so much for joining us here today. He is live from the KONDOR Nest in a top secret offshore location. The reason I'm so excited to talk about this today is because this rig is our most versatile yet, and it is fully modular, so it's fully customizable. All the plates are sold separately. Brandon, how are you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic. Thanks for having me.
Excellent, excellent. So I want to just get started by asking you, what are some of the design philosophies going into a cage such as this? Because this is a very high-end camera, and so a lot of people have a lot of needs that they need met for their particular rigs.
Absolutely. The whole camera space is starting to shift. It started with the Komodos, with the FX6, FX9, Canon C lines, and other cameras from Sony. So there's so much of that that's been democratized where we're getting these really fantastic cameras at awesome price points. And quite honestly, I'd still put the Red Raptor into that category where, of course, yes, it's $25,000. It's no joke of a camera, right, and it's being used on Hollywood film sets all over. So there's different things that we took into consideration as we were building that design, but really the core philosophies are the same as any of our cages, which is making it simple to use, making it strong while elegant, and making it super versatile where it's so much dependent on the user. As you get more into these Hollywood-based rigs, the needs just grow exponentially for how people are using it, how they're rigging it, what they're building onto it. And so we wanted to keep this design as flexible as possible, both for the array of third-party accessories and other things that are going to be made for this camera that are already announced, So keeping it compatible as much as possible with that, while still providing our special sauce to make it a really unique user experience.
That's awesome. What are some of the key features of the cage that really stand out to you and you think our customers will really like?
For sure. I really think it all starts with modularity. And some people think, oh, a cage needs to be completely enclosed and needs to hold onto itself. Otherwise, is it really a cage? And quite honestly, uh, that's that's a thought. And when you're in the smaller mirrorless cameras, that may hold more weight, right? A lot of these cameras that are coming at lower costs, their bodies aren't as strong. When you get into these pro body cameras, the camera itself is a cage, and it has dozens of quarter 20s with helicoils already built in for the express purpose of accessorizing off of that. Red full well knows that the camera, first off, is incredibly strong, and that people are going to be doing things off of just certain anchor points. And so you really don't want a full wrap cage, because as soon as you do that, immediately you're limiting what other accessories you can use. And you're making a compromise saying, oh, well, because of this, I can't do that, and this. And so we wanted to say, hey, you can get this full cage. You can start off there and use the different components, or you can do just the NATO top piece. You could do just one of the side arms or the base plate. It's really completely dependent on the user and how they're going to experience this camera and use it on and off sets. Additionally, that may vary for the same user shoot to shoot. I know tons of DPs that are building out their rig purpose built for a shoot, whether it's more run and gun and small, or they're doing full studio setup. It's going to be on sticks all day. I just need to be able to mount anything at any time, anywhere. That's what this has been built to do, is to fill that range, A to Z, as much as possible.
Awesome. Yeah, that's one of my favorite things about Kondor Blue products is you are not stuck with just our proprietary accessories. They work with anything. It's standard screw mounts, and we design it that way intentionally. So, as you know, we have the Komodo cage, and how has that inspired our build and design for the Raptor cage in particular?
Absolutely. Right when the Komodo came out, we knew that this was just the beginning of a whole new phase for Red. It serves, and even honestly, from Red's perspective, that camera changed for them. They were designing it with the intent to be this crash cam to match perfectly with their other cameras, which it does a great job of. But it brought in a whole new wave of users to the Red ecosystem that I think really surprised them. And it's only given cameras like this and the DSMC3 lineup more momentum, right? We already know that the Raptor XL is going to come out within a handful of months, or maybe early next year. So I was thinking about all those things, and the whole team was thinking about those things as we developed this cage. So the Komodo was a great starting point, where we had the key components of, okay, we want this modular. We want this to have safety features like any NATO that's going to be on there, especially if it's vertical. It's going to have the safety pins. We're going to get rosettes on there that are stainless and really hold anything that you're rigging off of that. And then we're going to make sure that that's mirrored on the other side, right? So all these basic components started, and because we have this camera is like 30% bigger. So we took that Komodo, made basically an XL version of it, to where you get more features and more things to do with it, just because there's simply more space on this camera.
Excellent. Now, so what are some of the maybe key issues that you wanted to address when coming up with features for this camera?
Great question. So a lot of cages, and again, this goes back to the size of the camera, they lead the user down a certain path. And that kind of forces them into, hey, you're going to put a side handle on here. You're going to put this thing there. And whatever those various accessories are, sometimes it's one or the other. And as much as possible, we wanted to say, okay, not only can you use multiple things on this, but you can pick their placement. And so we tried giving some space. So for instance, more so on the Komodo, where we have that vertical NATO, you had to pick and choose, okay, am I going to use that area mount on it, or am I going to use it as a NATO? And now we've been able to expand further back on that cage design, add more of those industry standard mounts, and get them in far enough away locations that you can use our mini quick releases in a lot of different spots on this camera. And it's really purpose built for that, so that you can quick release different components on and off the camera. There's NATOs literally on every different plane on this camera, so you can get in and out really quick. One of the things that we learned from the Komodo was that certain other third-party NATO accessories had a tough time working because of the depth of where that NATO is located. And so we've pulled that out from the design as much as possible to still keep it low profile, but allow for users to use more accessories both within the Kondor Blue line as well as anything else that they may already have in their kit.
That's awesome. And I love that we are constantly updating our designs based on user feedback, and we're constantly growing as a company. And I love the modularity of this cage. I think it is super cool. One thing I did want to talk about was the new accessories that comes with the rigs in this cage. Could you tell us a little bit about those?
Yeah, absolutely. So one of my favorites right on top there, I'm not sure if we're seeing the shots of the camera or not yet. Are we? Okay, we're good to go. So is that Talon Top Handle, fittingly named being Kondor Blue. We're really latching onto that bird theme, and just trying to take all those filmmakers to the next level, next height, quite literally. So Talon Top Handle is awesome, because what you're looking for in a top handle, and from our vantage point, is comfort, usability, the amount of things you can do to accessorize it. And so we look at the accessories that overall have become so popular, especially on pro sets, like the Tentacle Sync, different wireless audio devices, wireless monitoring, of course, monitors themselves, and other things that will attach to the system. And sometimes it's hard, like I've said before, in combining multiples of these features. But with this top handle, it's spread out enough that you can still use it while not being this massive top handle. Some of these top handles can get so big. Sometimes that's intentional for a really big studio setup where you're wanting it to wrap around down the back. And we get that. And those are things that we're thinking about for future potential designs. But the way we see it, this is like the ultimate smart go-to handle, where you throw it on, you're not worrying about the grip slipping. I don't know how many handles I've used over the years where I'm on doing a really critical shot, I'm holding it, pushing in, and boom, the grip slips because the rubber's not attached. In this case, that underside there on the grip, it is a process called overmolding. So we take the aluminum billet first off. You have this big old chunk of aluminum, and it's milled out to that beautiful shape. And within that, there's a spine in the rubber that has holes going into it. And then it goes into another mold where it fits that perfectly and injects the rubber to fit around the actual handle. So it's not moving, it's integrated, it's comfortable, it's got some grip on the bottom that you're not seeing. Even the Kondor Blue on each side of the handle provides a texture as well as the branding. So you get best of both worlds there. You have the NATO on the top and the front. So we know how on the go we can be as filmmakers. I mean, it's one of the main titles, being run and gun, right? And so we wanted to make this handle to be able to be quick on, quick off, and anything that you're adding to this handle as well. And then just those slight inclines, that's also a critical step. A lot of the monitor mounts that you're going to get, whether they're from us or others, because of we're trying to make them as small as possible, so you're not getting stack height higher than you want, getting off, getting your center of gravity off more than as much as possible. You want to keep it just nice and tidy there. And so having that angle out on the front and back allows the monitor to actually pivot all the way up to where you're going to at least vertical, if not a little past. If you're, say you have your camera up above you and you want to look at it, that accommodates for that. Every single angle in this is very intentional. The placement of every accessory is there for a reason. And like I said, same goes on the back with that cold shoe. It even has a 1/4-20 if you want some extra security. Those things, you're not going to worry about them popping out on you during a shoot.
That's awesome. Both functional and beautiful. Super cool. Before you go into the last one, I do want to say that we will be accepting questions about the accessories or the camera cage just after this. So get those questions ready, and we'll be able to answer some very shortly. But in the meantime, I will have you, Brandon, talk about our last awesome accessory we have.
Okay, now this has been something that has been the grand debate in Kondor Blue for a long time, is how can you have an ultimate bundle that doesn't have a shoulder pad, right?
Yep.
And we get it. There's been so many that are out there, and anytime we approach a design, we have to put on our hats of, okay, what are we going to bring different to the table that's not just hey, we've got this too, right?
Mm-hmm.
With any item as small as a clamp for a rod, we think, how can this integrate on just a step above? And so we've done that with our first release of the shoulder pad. And I've actually got one of the prototypes here. I love this thing. It's awesome. It works super well. It's compact. It's lightweight considering how much is built into it. Of course, we've got our tool in here as well, magnetic. So that's a Kondor Blue standard, that anytime that there's something that needs to be removed or added, we got your back, we got a tool, and it's on there. Now, this thing has a couple unique features. First off, you're going to notice that pad looks pretty different, and it is. It's actually Velcroed on for good reason. We know that film days, they're long days, they're hot days. It can get really sweaty, really hot. Nobody likes a stinky camera. So you can pull this guy off, you can wash this, and have it not just always be on here. And then these little balloons on here are actually filled with air. So you have an insert here to be able to fill it up with a pump and get those bubbles dialed in right to your specification. So if the camera's a little bit lighter, you can make them harder. If it's heavier, you can give it a little bit more to where it kind of goes into your shoulder, and you feel it being one with your body. I really like just how well the air flows between those chambers, and it adapts without feeling like it's a bounce house, right? It's just something you really got to try to experience. And then another key difference, we have this NATO along the whole top. We have a clamp that can slide both on this NATO and then on your rails, so you can position this exactly where you need. Excuse me. Oftentimes when we're building up rigs, there's a lot going on under the camera, around the camera. And so this NATO will essentially allow you to relocate to where you need to be. And then one of my favorite features in here, you'll notice that there's some part lines here. And that's because, ever so satisfying. We got this little rotation. You can rotate it either way. You might ask, okay, why does that NATO do that? Well, our rod clamp actually can fit on within this space and can rotate as that's attached. So say you're doing, a lot of shoulder shooting, but then you need to do a low to the ground shot, and it's an extended shot. You're already 6 hours to this day. You're tired. And the last thing you want is to awkwardly hold and try and balance this camera with the shoulder pad like this. Well, we already know we've got the built-in geometry of this curvature. So say you're kneeling down, you rest this right on your leg. Well, then your camera would be pointing 90 degrees the wrong direction. You just lift up the pad, rotate it, boom. You're set. You can set this right on your lap. You still got a comfortable space. You can shoot and get that shot to exactly how you need it and the client needs it. Got some fun things built into that to make sure it locks into place. It nests here as you rotate, so it's not going to be wobbly. It's got a really strong spring in there, and then the weight of the camera will do the rest to keep it in place. If you're really wanting it that much tighter and not wanting to fear or not wanting to rotate it, we have spots on the bottom where you can add in some bolts to make it so it doesn't ever rotate on you. And then on the outsides, got plenty of mounting for other accessories. And one of my favorite things as well, on the ends, again, on each side, we have industry standard ARRI mounts. Now, these aren't just mounts that are arbitrarily placed here. We have a single rod to ARRI connector, where if you put in two of them or one of them, these are 60 millimeters apart, which is the industry standard for 15 millimeter rails. So you could build off a low profile rail set from that to, maybe you want a battery plate on there and you can drop it down lower. These are all things that we thought about in ways that, hey, if you want to do it that way, you can. And that's really the Kondor Blue philosophy. So that's our new shoulder pad, which we're super excited about.
That is so cool. Fully customizable all the way down to the shoulder pad. Leave it to Kondor Blue, right?
Absolutely.
So, thank you so much, Brandon. Now we will be taking some questions from the audience. So please go ahead and send those in, and we will pick some of our favorites. And you'll have, the man of the hour here to answer whatever you guys need. Just waiting for those questions to roll in.
Bring them. I'm ready.
I love it. You're even teaching me a few things.
That's the great thing about filmmaking. I feel it's a constant collaboration. And if you're not learning from those around you, go find a new crew. You need some help. So it's good to be around people and always learn and grow.
Hey, how's
Jake's
it going?
back here with me.
He's back. He's back.
He's going to help me ask some questions.
So I am here just to ask you some questions and then goodbye. So one of the first questions that I see on here, let's see. Will we see the Talon Top Handle on other cage systems?
That's a good question.
I wouldn't be surprised if you did. And it will, of course, be available separately as well. And we're looking into a couple different options there for that handle, both a smaller size, and this is the more standard size. But hey, sometimes you have a mini rig and you need a mini handle. So we've got that in the works as well.
That's awesome. And yeah, if you guys ever want to see any other products or accessories on any other cameras, please let us know. We love hearing what you guys want, what you guys need, and that definitely influences what we release next.
Question 2, and this one I enjoy because it always gets me excited to see so many people interested in variation. Will this cage also come in black?
Of course, we can't let our Black Raven fans down. They're just as much part of the nest as us. So let's Space Gray and Raven Black, we're here for you.
Cool. Honestly, if I was to pick up this Raptor, I'd probably pick it up in black.
Yeah.
I also think that looks so sick with our standard
space
gray, especially with that Cindy body cap.
Yeah.
Chef's kiss. All right. Number 3, will the shoulder pad work with a dovetail? Very important.
So great question. Yes. Let me just pull it out again. So again, another reason that this pad can remove, we have these mounting lines, which you can mount the bolt through the bottom, and they even are fed in with a 3/8 there. So if you use 3/8 bolts and have them in there, they won't fall out once they're in. You can mount into our dovetail plate. So that's for a hard mount. We are looking at other options and ways to do it, but that's going to be the most direct and current system to do that. And so definitely our 12-inch dovetail plates are great. We just released a new version of that was one of those things that you guys asked, and we put it back to the grindstone and figured out a better way to release the safety buttons on that. So if you haven't checked that out, go check out our 12-inch dovetail plates. They're awesome.
That's right. We moved the button from the top to the side, so it's a bit easier to press when trying to slide cameras and rigs on and off. Excellent change.
Yeah. Perfect. Our good buddy Cam is joking around saying, will the cage give the Raptor wings? Very good one. But more importantly, Moai Films asks, is that a PL adapter I see mounted on the Raptor?
We got a guy that's been on set and he knows what he's seeing. So yes, that is a PL adapter. And that's another prime example. So this is something that is we are releasing, and it's super accurate. We've even been told that it's as accurate with the next best-in-class PL adapters in terms of distancing and everything else. And so super excited to get this out for all of the people looking to adapt that RF mount, which is a fantastic mount, to that PL. And we're using components from our lens mounts that we already have out. So that main bridge piece goes in there, and then we have a special custom piece that's built for the Red Raptor. And I love this about it. It's designed to actually mount on the front helicoil threads on the Raptor body. so that if you're not using our base plate, if you're not using anything else, you can still have that anti-rotation built into your lens mount. And then you can kind of see it here. It's probably really small on Instagram, but on the far side, there's a blue tab, which will help you crank that PL adapter tight, in addition to the knurling around that outer ring, which will give you a really secure mount on those bigger, heavier PL lenses.
Awesome. Stuff like that, super important for a camera of this caliber. Now, we will be taking one last question.
All right, let's check it out. Okay. Ooh, this is a good one. Is the top plate for the Raptor sold separately? I think that's one of those things that a lot of people are going to look forward to if they're just trying to modularly build out their Raptor. So I think it's important to know. Is that sold separately?
Yes, it will be. Actually, both plates. If you can tell there's the front NATO clamp, which also has a 15 millimeter rod clamp in there. And that's intentionally on, I didn't go into this, but to be brief, it's on that right side of cam for a reason. A very common accessory that you're going to see with this camera is the outrigger handle, which is still applicable from the Komodo, or any other grip. Like if you're going to have one of two grips on the camera, more than likely it's going to be that right hand grip, just because more people are right-handed. And then it clears up the room for an EVF or other accessories on that left side. So because you already have that space taken out, like say you're in a bag and you have that right side space taken out, we put that there on the right side so that you can mount your focus motors on that side above, out of the way. And again, it's interdependent from the base rails. So if you've got a matte box or your quick adjust arms on there, like you're not having to fuss with losing real estate. Or in some cases, some lenses, the gearing is so close together that it's hard to put multiple motors on one rod. And so you can halvesy it. You can do one up top, one on bottom, and then alternate back and forth. So that plate is available on its own. And then that horseshoe style plate on the back is also available. And again, both in space gray or raven black.
Awesome.
I'm not gonna lie, all this talk about this cage and all of the accessories on it and all the functionalities is making me want to ditch my current setup and pick up a red Raptor just to utilize this cage.
I know, and it's our most versatile rig yet, and I just love absolutely everything about it.
Versatility.
That's right.
All right, well that's all for the questions.
You're out of here, Jake?
I'll catch you later.
All right. He has other important things to do. Before we let you go,
he's got to go make some money for this camera.
Yeah, right. Before we go, is there anything else that's important that you think we need to mention about this, or do you think we've covered it pretty?
The last thing I'd mention is you may notice that the design of those side plates is asymmetrical. Again, that's thinking forward about the grips and other accessories that are going to be on that right side versus the left side of camera. Additionally, this camera, if you look at it, just go to B&H or Adorama, anywhere you buy your cameras, and you'll see that they jam-packed this camera full of buttons, screens, your media, and everything else. And so really, any bit of real estate that we could cover up with cage elements is there. And where it's not, it's because there's another feature that we didn't want to cover up at all, including those ever important intake and outtake air vents on this camera, because it's going to get hot and it needs airflow. So all of that is built around this. And along with that, one of the things that we wanted to make sure happened up from the Komodo, because we had that size, instead of having the 4 millimeter bolts to attach the side wings, side plates on the Komodo, we have full stainless steel 1/4-20 bolts, and you do not have to remove that bottom rosette in order to mount this. So a lot faster to get it on and off. And that's because we had that extra space, extra height, and super happy that we were able to get to that in this camera.
Awesome. I love it. It seems like we just thought of everything. That's going to be it today, guys. If you like seeing content like this, please let us know. Special thank you so much to Brandon for coming in live from the Crow's Nest in our top secret offshore location. We have a bunch of exciting stuff coming up this year, guys. We're going to be starting a new TikTok very soon, which Jake is heavily involved in, and myself. Lots of awesome new products coming out, so stay tuned. If you want to stay updated for that, we're on Instagram, our YouTube channel. We're going to be doing a lot more on the YouTube channel and here on Instagram. Let us know again who else you want to see live with us. And, you know, if you like our content, please support us in any way you feel like you want to. And I think for now, that's about it. And oh yeah, lastly, we are going to run that highlight video again for those that missed it in order to celebrate Kondor Blue's 3rd birthday. Cool. Thank you guys so much, and we'll see you in the next one.
Wow, what is that?
Kondor Blue, who specialize in professional camera gear.
That this thing fits in the camera case is so killer.
A lot of their stuff is great, and I've been really happy with it.
KONDOR Blue offers a lifetime warranty.
They build beautiful accessories, super high quality.
I really like Kondor Blue's products, and I'd recommend them.
We use their products because they're actually really good.
If you're looking for a top-notch camera cage, KONDOR Blue.
So far beyond my wildest expectations.
KONDOR Blue is my favorite place to go to get accessories for your camera.
The key component is this quick release plate.
It's really cool. Check it out. That's fast.
Very clean, very nice, very sturdy.
The other thing that I like, they have lifetime warranty for all their products.
This is what I use for all my cameras, and this is a side-loaded plate. Boom, look at the versatility of that.
KONDOR Blue is one of those companies that really pride themselves in making high-quality products.
And the other thing that I really like about this is that when I'm holding the camera like this, I can quickly press record.
Now my favorite part, I have a little handle extender from KONDOR Blue.
I've been really happy with this whole setup.
And my favorite thing is that they're high quality and well thought out.
And they are filmmakers like we are, so they understand exactly what we need to help improve our workflow.